My lord, I wish I had someone who could help me figure out what comics to buy on a complete shelf of comic books like this at BoomTube Comics. Wait a minute. I know who can. It's me, Johnny Ganache from Pine Comics. It is book by book. BoomTube Comics, Pine Comics, so many comics, comics everywhere.
Everywhere.
Comics, Dan from BoomTube here. John, Ganache.
What's up, BoomTubers?
Pine Comics. Clay, hanging out all day with Clay. And we're here to talk about...
Fry Clay.
Fry Clay. Yeah. Fry Clay.
Fry Clay.
We're here to talk about, it's book by book. We're going to go down the line, as we've done before, here at BoomTube, 1475 Meriden Waterbury Turnpike in lovely Southington, Connecticut. And we are going to talk DC, we're going to talk Marvel, and then we're going to talk Independence. We're going to tell you what's out. We're going to give you recommendations based on stuff maybe we like, or maybe just based on stuff that we think you might like. Stuff that'll get you to come down to this and or your local comic store and buy some comics. All right? Why don't we start off with
until Dan expands nationwide.
That's right. Until there's as many BoomTubes as there are McDonald's.
There you go.
All right?
BoomTube on every corner.
That's right. I like that dream.
Wow.
Clay, why don't you tell us?
Be the Legion of Boom. Oh wait, that's taken.
That's taken. Yeah. What do you recommend, or what do you think people will enjoy from DC right now?
Well, right now it just finished up number 6 of the miniseries of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
They're lesbians, aren't they?
It's been kind of very in your face, but unsaid.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
they're lesbians.
They're lesbians.
It's cool though.
Or they're in a relationship, and they're going. The Floronic Man is actually going after them.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
Nice.
It was a nice little miniseries.
Right in the
followed
wheelhouse.
up. Yep, it followed up from Heroes in Crisis. So it stemmed right off of that. So Ivy's had to grow herself again the way like Swamp Thing does, and she's no longer a person. She's dealing with that, and it was good.
All right. And that's issue 6.
Yep.
So you can come down, you can find the 6 issues, or I'm sure the trade will be out soon.
Yes.
All right. What's your second pick?
Second pick is Justice League Odyssey. It's got Jessica Cruz, Daxstar, and a couple other characters stuck in the Ghost Sector.
This is essentially like Justice League's outer space book.
In space, yes. They're dealing with the Ghost
Sector.
In space. Yes, they've got the magic and they've got the space. So
Cyborg and Azrael, right?
Cyborg, Azrael, and Starfire are under Darkseid's control in the Ghost Sector, going up against Jessica Cruz, who just got a whole new power set.
Okay.
So it's been a solid book.
And it's written by Dan Abnett, who was one of the guys who kind of brought back Guardians of the Galaxy a few years ago. So he knows his space stuff. All right, so those two you're enjoying?
I've been really enjoying these. Justice League Odyssey has turned into a really solid series.
All right, so there's Clay's picks for DC. Let's go to Dan. Dan's Mr. DC, by the way. Does he have an Aquaman book in his hands?
No.
I haven't seen them yet. I don't know. No Aquaman book?
No, man.
All right. Dan's
That's too biased.
Dan likes Aquaman, so. All right, what do we got? What do we got?
All right, I have Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen, number 2. It's of a 4-part series. And it's the conclusion to all of the Year of Villain books. It's Apex Lex versus the new Secret Six, which are all of the infected heroes: King Shazam, the Scarab,
Hawkman,
Deathbringer, Hawkman. I forget his name. Sky King, I think.
What is Apex Lex?
Yeah, Apex Lex is Lex Luthor
and Martian Manhunter kind of
hybridized with Martian Manhunter by Brainiac. So Brainiac did that. Lex Luthor at the beginning of Year of the Villain killed himself, and Brainiac brought him back and made him a hybrid. So he's an apex predator.
He's what people were supposed to be, but they split up the species.
He's what evolution was supposed to be.
He's what the Martians and the humans together.
Okay.
Right.
All right. What's your second book, Dan?
Wonder Woman 750.
Wonder Woman.
Adam Hughes cover. Beautiful cover. One of my favorite characters, and I believe this is the beginning of the 5G timeline for DC, where Wonder Woman is the first hero in the DC universe. So it's no longer like Superman is the first hero, Wonder Woman is.
Retcon, folks. It's a retcon.
A little retcon, and I'm sure a little bit of, beefing up the promotion for the new movie. So
Oh, that's right, Wonder Woman 84.
check out
And
that trailer.
if you do want to check this out, don't forget $9.99 cover price, but this is like a whole ton of pages.
Yes.
So
It's
don't
Trade.
Yeah, it's basically like a
Yeah.
little quarter trade there for you.
Yep. Nice square bound book, prestige bound, very nice.
And several covers. You don't just have that. You've got,
Decades covers.
decades covers. You got a whole bunch of different stuff here. So you get your choice. You get some cool stuff. All right. So neither of my DC picks are books that I would recommend on a personal level, but I think that people should know they're out. First one with the
How dare you?
ever so hot Linda Carter, Dan's girlfriend, on the back is the Green Lantern Season 2, Number 1. So if you were a fan of the Grant Morrison, Liam Sharp, The Green Lantern 12-issue series,
12
Yes.
yeah.
and then I think there was a middle series,
Black
Stars.
Yes.
And 3
This
issues.
is, so you had 12 issues of the first series, 3-issue mini in between, and it is starting, this is volume 2 basically. So if you didn't know there was a volume 2 coming out, this is why I'm recommending it, because it is out right now. So if you enjoyed that stuff, if it wasn't too weird, I don't know, I haven't read it myself, then check it out. Secondly, if you like the Black Label series of books, and you recently went to the movie theaters and saw what is either titled Birds of Prey, the something 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 of Harley Quinn, or Harley Quinn Birds of Prey. You heard about that, right? They
Yeah,
changed the
I
name.
just saw it the other day.
They changed the name after the
It's
dismal
finally-
failure in the first
finally made
weekend.
commercials now.
Yeah. Well, if you like that or you were disappointed by it, I can definitely say you might want to check this out. Reason being, so this is Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, Book 1, Black Label. This is done by Jimmy Palmiotti and his wife Amanda Connor on art. Amanda Connor is incredible. Jimmy Palmiotti is incredible. Harley Quinn is not my cup of tea, but essentially, if you want to read good Harley material, from everything I've ever heard, this is the team that you want to read it from. So if you love the movie, this is a good place to go, although this is definitely, I looked through a little bit of it, it's R-rated.
Amanda Connor is also going to be at Terrificon this year.
Terrificon in
And
August.
Jimmy, too.
And Jimmy, yeah, they basically do everything together. They're married again, but they do all their signings together and everything. And if you left the movie and were disappointed by it, then, and you enjoyed the comics, I can only say that I would assume this might float your boat. So those are our picks. Real quick, let's go over them again. Justice League Odyssey, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Dan had Hell Arisen, Lex Luthor versus the Infected, Wonder Woman 750, and I had The Green Lantern Volume 2, Number 1, and Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, Book 1, by Connor and Palmiotti. I'm not sure how many issues this is.
4.
4 issues. I know now. Dan told me because he owns the store. He knows all these things. Let's go down to the House of Ideas, Marvel. All right, now's the time on the show when we talk about Marvel Comics and what is new, what's fresh, what's popping, what's kicking. Clay, what is going on in the world of Marvel today?
I have liked Scream Curse of Carnage lately. It's her first ongoing series of her own title. It's one of the symbiotes that was a part of Separation Anxiety.
Yeah, there's all that symbiote stuff going on, right?
Yeah, no, this
Carnage.
comes out of Absolute Carnage.
Okay.
The story comes out of Absolute Carnage. There was a miniseries during Absolute Carnage.
Am I the only one that cannot tell what is going on in the
She's
cover?
underwater. Here's her face.
That is chaotic. that
Yeah,
cover.
there's lots going on.
There's a lot going on in that cover.
A lot of the variants have looked really awesome because they've gone with like the classic look of her with the hair and
Okay.
the spears. But the series has been pretty good so far. That one, and so is Morbius, the Living Vampire. I think this is a mini series.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, Jared Leto looked pretty good in the trailer.
The trailer for the movie that's coming out this
Yep.
year, yeah.
He's being hunted. He's trying to cure himself. So he's not necessarily a villain, but he's
All right.
being hunted.
So Clay's choices are essentially a couple of Spider-Man villains,
Yes.
almost. Of the Spider-Man villain lineage, I guess you could say. Morbius and Scream being one of the symbiotes. Symbiotes, if you're not familiar with them, then apparently you have not been paying attention to comic books in the last
Since the
30
90s.
years,
Yeah.
since the
Yeah, at
90s.
least.
I'm personally not a fan, but I know that what's popular is popular.
Oh yeah.
Dan, what do you got for us?
My first pick is Fantastic Four X-Men crossover. Basically, I think we spoke about this in the 4-color preview a little bit. Franklin Richards, is Mega Level Mutant, and Xavier and Magneto want him on the island, so they come to New York, and it pays off. Terry Dotson's art is awesome.
Terry Dotson's good.
It looks great. It's a great story. I can't wait to read the next one. I think the shit's really gonna hit the fan with that one. So.
Boom.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
I liked that one. It snuck up on me.
And then I haven't read this yet, but this looks so interesting, and it is on my to-do list. Is an Immortal Hulk one-shot, great power, with it looks like Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
As
Spider-Man
the Hulk.
Hulk.
Like, what is going
What's
on
going
there?
on here?
Did Bruce Banner steal his underwear? Or
Oh,
what
boy.
happened? I don't know. But it looks really good. Sold a lot of copies. So it's Immortal Hulk's always super popular.
Yeah. Yeah, Immortal Hulk's great.
Yeah.
The main series is great. I don't know about that myself.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a cool one shot, and you can slip it right there in your box with all your Immortal Hulk.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong, right? And remember, Dan's got to eat, so
Yeah.
come on down.
I don't eat enough.
So first one I'm going to go with is not a suggestion made by me per se. It is The Rise of Kylo Ren. But here's why I do say you should check this out. First of all, most of the Star Wars Marvel books have been pretty good. Charles Soule is a pretty good writer. I like Charles Soule. He did Daredevil for a while. He's done Darth Vader. He's doing the current Star Wars series. And if you are a fan of the J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson era Star Wars, you know, a lot of these characters you don't get a lot of backstory. Well, the Marvel series are canon. So if you want to know all about Kylo Ren, do you want to actually know who the hell the Knights of Ren are? Because they didn't tell you in the movies. I know by just looking through the second issue of this the other day that they're in the book. They actually give them a little backstory. So if you went and saw Rise of Skywalker and you went, who the hell were those guys? They never explained it. You could check this out. All right. So that's The Rise of Kylo Ren by Charles Soule. Now this one, this big mamma gem I'm holding right here. All right. This is Fantastic Four Grand Design. Now, if you've ever heard of the X-Men Grand Design, that was by an artist named Ed Piskor. This is Tom Scioli. Tom Scioli did a GoBots book a few years ago that was pretty popular. And what these Grand Design books are, it was a 2-issue series. This is essentially the entire... Now, look, it doesn't look that thick. This is the entire history of the Fantastic Four told in 2 issues. And the way they do it is each page pretty much covers. So you see here, it's single panel, and you're going story to story to story to story, and it just jams out the history of the Fantastic Four. I have not read these yet, but the concept of them is incredible. It's awesome. It looks like the kind of book that, in all honesty, for me, would give me a headache to read, because there's just there's 40 panels on each page, but you're compacting 60 years of story into 2 issues. So what this is, for $29.99, this collects issue 1 and 2, which is the entire series, and it has a reprint of the actual Stan Lee, Jack Kirby #1 Fantastic Four from 1963. So $29.99. It's a nice, big, oversized book. It's a soft cover, but it's firm. Check it out. Grand Design. And then if you're checking this out and you're into it, come see Dan or go see your local comic shop owner or employee and tell them you want to check out Ed Piskor's X-Men. I think they did 2 different series of that.
Yeah.
Because the X-Men is already convoluted as it is, so you've got to go through a lot. So why don't we move on from Marvel and go over to the independent books? All right, we're going to finish off book by book, as we always do, with the independent books, with the books that are made by the folks that are tinier, but full of ideas, not always superhero, not all that stuff. So, Clay, what are your choices for independent books right now?
20XX actually does involve a little bit of superpowers, but it's new. It's been coming out about these people that there's a 1% chance survival if you get this parasite, but when you do, you get superpowers.
Oh, okay.
Whether it be you can control water or whatever element. So it's been interesting because the people survive. Now they have to learn how to live with it.
Jonathan Luna, too. The Luna brothers, if you're familiar, they did a couple really great series a few years ago. They did one called Girls That was very popular, and I did enjoy that one. But the one they did that was like fucking awesome. Yes, I swore that time. The Sword, right? You got to check The Sword out if you've never checked it out. I think it was a 12-issue miniseries, and you've read that, right, Lou?
Sword's awesome.
Incredible. I cannot recommend it enough. So if you're enjoying that and you've never read The Sword, Clay, see Dan over here. He could probably get it for you.
Alrighty.
All right.
Yeah.
My second one is for nostalgia's sake, because I grew up loving 90s stuff. It's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Shredder's got the green power coin. So that's sick, and it's a 5-issue miniseries. You can't go wrong getting something from your childhood.
Let's,
like
you know,
that.
real quick, because I don't think we did that in the first one. The first book was Image, right?
Image, correct.
Image, and then the Turtles, Power Rangers is Boom,
Yes.
and IDW.
Yes, and then I apologize, I'm going to go rogue and do a little wild card thing. I forgot
Oh,
about
wild
this.
card.
Okay,
I
all
forgot
right.
about this.
All right, you invite
need
him on
this.
once, and now he's making the rules, folks.
Yeah, no, you need to check this out. I forgot that this came out. It's
He's
book
out of
one of
control.
Animal Man from Grant Morrison.
Oh,
you just
boy.
got to check it out. Okay, here's the independent stuff. Check it out. Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay.
You're
That's
not
okay.
rogue.
We're allowed to go back a little bit.
It's okay.
All right, Dan, what are your independent picks and maybe a DC or Marvel pick you want to throw in there as well?
No, actually, 2 Image books.
Oh, okay.
Super hot book right now, Undiscovered Country by Charles Soule and Scott Snyder, both writing it together. Really hot book in multiple printings. I am not reading it personally, but it's
Flying off the shelf.
been a very good seller. Yeah.
If you were a fan of the DC New 52, as you were, Dan,
Yes.
you would know that Scott Snyder and Charles Soule are the two writers of the Swamp Thing book.
Yes.
Snyder started it, Soule finished it, so that's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
cool.
Yep. And then Dead Eyes, which is the was originally called Dead Rabbit, and then the book got shut down.
The restaurant in Boston or something like
in
that.
New
sued
York.
them? Yeah, New York. Yeah.
That's been a good series too.
Yeah, so another pretty popular book at the store. We were just talking about it the other night,
Yeah.
actually. So, 2 pretty popular Image books. Image is firing on all cylinders as usual.
All right. So there you go. You got their picks. Now here are my picks. First off, from IDW, it is a book that I'm trying really hard to get into. I'm a G.I. Joe fan. The idea behind this is issue 5. Is that Cobra, the book starts off, Cobra's already won. So in issue 1, Cobra's already won. G.I. Joe is essentially scattered. There almost is no Joe, and they're trying to recruit members, and G.I. Joe is, at this point, pretty much considered a resistance group, and they're not really a military force. In the first issue, a major G.I. Joe character gets his head blown off. Of course, you get the very cool Obey Cobra logo there. I'm not totally disliking this book. I'm like this on it right now. I think it's only issue 5, so I'm going to give it more time. But the important part about this is that you still have G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, written by Larry Hama, that's coming out all the time. That book is almost on issue 300. That's maybe not the easiest thing to jump in on. This is issue 5. This is its own stuff going on. And let's be honest, unlike Transformers or Power Rangers or TMNT, G.I. Joe does not have a really strong presence right now out there. I think a lot of it has to do with the military aspect of it. It's not as popular as it once was.
Anybody who picks it up who's a Joe fan puts on their ball.
Right. So check that out, G.I. Joe. And then this is just a fun one. Star Trek Year 5, the Valentine's Day special.
That IDW.
Yeah, IDW, man. And there you got... Now, you can't have a Star Trek book or a Star Trek show or a Star Trek movie where Kirk ain't getting some right on the cover.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because he has 2 things he's got to do. He's got to explore new worlds, and he's got to explore new things. And it's all new things to him. But you know what? Again, this isn't a book I'm necessarily...
Oh, I thought you said explore nude things.
Well, that too.
That works too, right?
That works
Yeah.
too. Nude, yeah,
A
absolutely.
little bit of both.
A little bit of both. He's got to probe several things in
Launch a probe.
That's it. Launch the probe, James T. Yeah, but if you're a Star Trek fan, again, much like the other things, there's not a lot going on with Star Trek in terms of comics necessarily.
Right.
You got the TV shows going on right now, so it's a good time maybe to jump back in. You're definitely not getting a lot with original crew right now, so check that out. James T. Kirk, Pork and Space Babes. You can't get better than that, right? So that's it for independent. Clay, do you have something else in there that you didn't show us?
No, Animal Man is just really awesome. So if you could check out Animal Man.
All right. So
by
from
Grant
independent
Morrison,
DC,
it was awesome.
Yeah.
independent DC.
Yeah, so we're just going to touch base
Actually,
there.
was that in Vertigo? So almost independent.
Yeah, they have it as Black Label now. So,
I think it was DC. I think Vertigo was after. I think maybe the run might have run into Vertigo.
Yeah.
Oh, did
This
it?
would be a great moment if Sir John was here. He would be like, issue 642 is where they knocked that over. So, okay, let's go over real quick again. Clay.
20XX, Power Rangers, and Ninja Turtles with Shredder with the green power coin.
Dan, what do you got?
Dead Eyes and Undiscovered Country.
And I'm going full licensed here. Star Trek Year 5 and G.I. Joe. Yo, Joe. So, until next time, Dan.
Wait a minute. We got a big announcement.
We got a big announcement.
Ooh.
This is so big, I'm not even going to stand here. I'm going to stand off camera
No,
for this. Dan.
well, hey, I'd just like to announce that on Free Comic Book Day, we're going to have the one, the only Ron Garney in the house.
Ron Garney.
Yes, he will be here all day doing sketches and signing books. If you buy a book at the store, he'll sign it for free. So it's a super exciting announcement. I had the pleasure to talk to him the other day on the phone. As you know, that's a little bit of an adventure.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great.
Ron is a great artist, a great guy. He's been on our show before. He's done Incredible Hulk. He has done Scar, Son of Hulk. Creator owned with Jason Aaron, Men of Wrath. He's done Thor.
Justice League.
He's
Amazing
been Amazing Spider-Man. He is.
He's done some X-Men.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He's doing the new Juggernaut miniseries.
Yeah,
Juggernaut
he draws a
miniseries.
sick Juggernaut.
I don't know if it came out yet. Maybe you could tell me. I know with Jerry Duggan writing, he did a Thing noir book.
Oh, that's
I
not
think
out
that's
yet.
coming
It's
out.
Yep.
So if you were a fan of the Marvel noirs, he's doing a Thing noir book. I follow him on Instagram. I check out his art all the time. Incredible dude, incredible artist, and a huge get for the Tube.
And a friend of the pint as well, right?
Yeah, we love that guy, man. He's such a cool dude. You're gonna want to be here. That is a big get.
May
It's gonna
2nd.
May 2nd.
May 2nd.
Gonna be a super exciting day.
Yes.
I cannot wait. Free Comic Book Day FCBD here at BoomTube. Dan, real quick, why don't you give everybody again, if they come down to BoomTube, give them the levels so they know if they want to subscribe with you.
Oh, if you,
what do they get?
If you subscribe, everything's backed and boarded from one title on up. Doesn't matter what you get. You get the 5 titles, you get a 10% discount on just about everything in the store. And if you get the 10 titles, you're a gold member and you get a full set of previews every month.
Boom. So look at that boom! I just said that. All right. So for Dan, the owner of BoomTube, and Clay, within the top 5% of customers of BoomTube, I'm Ganache.
Iconic.
This has been
Iconic.
Pine Comics, and we will
Cultural
see
icon.
you next time here on Book by Book. Thank you so much for checking us out.